We are live. Greetings and salutations, Wanderer, Wayfarer, Wizard Warrior, and Wildcat alike. I hope you're doing well this Monday. It's Monday with Monday. All right. Let's have a little Monday with Monday. Mother, father. Just no matter how hard I try, man, nothing ever seems to work out. Well, no, that's not true. But sometimes the amount of concomitants is mind-boggling. Truly mind-boggling. I've been trying to set up here. I'm not trying. I have. I've been setting up here for a couple of hours now, cleaning up the situation, and getting things. Looks nice. It's clean. It's clean. Got my whole area cleaned up. Not the whole thing, but a lot of it. So it is what it is, Just roll with the punches. What you gonna do when your world's invaded by a reggae junkie Jew? Let's see how long the battery charge on my phone will last. Wait, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Because I'm about to plug it in to a charger that's not any good. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's supposed to work. It says it's working. It says it's charging, but it just never really seems to work out. Welcome, one and all, Wanderer, Wayfarer, Warrior. Wonder how that's gonna sound. Not great. My flute cracked, and I put a bunch of wax on the side of it, so it's not. It cracked because of the wintry weather. My Shifu told me. He said in the winter shouldn't play much, but it sounds nice. But if you leave any moisture in the flute, and then the cold weather will make the bamboo crack, and then you'll be SOL. So that's not good. But I'm gonna make a coffee. You guys wanna join me for making a coffee today? Today's live call-ins. So if you've got if you're out there in Happy Land, you want to call in. I made this a go live with a friend stream. So feel free to call in, and we'll make it happen, man. We'll do some banter. We'll do some pithy banter back and forth. That's always good fun. Because I'm waiting for a guest. Let me see if I can check the chat. Okay, check the chat. Chat viewing, top chat, all chat, top chat. Don't see any chat. There's a chat. But can I type in the chat? Will it let me type in the chat? Save highlight, share, mute microphone, add a guest. Waiting for guest. It doesn't look like I can actually post the link to you guys. Yeah, I don't see a place where I can type. That's a bummer. Oh, well, I was trying something new. They got a new feature on YouTube here. I guess they're competing with StreamYard. So it's been for a while that the only way you could do a call-in, a live call-in, is if you used an app like an outside app like StreamYard, a program like StreamYard, or what's the other one? Restream, or some of the others. And you have to pay those other locations a fee if you want to use it full featured without their accoutrements and advertisements, their symbol, their label on it. And so you could see like even DJ uses StreamYard, right? I've noticed, I recognize the telltale signs. Professor Hamamoto and greats like even Frank Monday would use StreamYard and other off app sites, you know. I'm surprised they're so silly that they haven't monetized me already and offered me monetization on YouTube, because I already use an offsite thing like Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal or Patreon. And it's like, why would you allow all of that to go off site when you can just add that option here on YouTube and make the money? What is YouTube takes like 30-40% of super chats and shit, right? So and the only reason creators use the super chat option is because it's more convenient for people who are already on YouTube and already in app, just to do it that way, because it's one extra step if you send people over to Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon or something like that. And so that requires an additional step that most people are just, a lot of people are just not willing to take. So if they've already got a credit card set up here on YouTube, then why would you go an additional step outside and go to, like, Buy Me a Coffee or some of the other ways to do that? I really prefer. I would prefer to have a nice studio with a setup and stuff, but I don't. So, you just do what you can do, baby. Come on, man. Fucking if you, I learned early on that if you niggle about everything in a situation, like I gotta get it all perfect, right? I gotta get the mustache twirled up with wax, I gotta get the hair slicked back, brush the ivories, and so on. And if you niggle endlessly over every single little thing, nothing's ever perfect. And it's never gonna come off perfect. And no matter how hard you work at it, there's going to be some ultimate failing somewhere. There's going to be some dude in blackface in the back, you know, getting you in trouble with the censors. And there's just, you can't control every single factor involved in the transmission. And so you gotta go with it. You gotta just do it, as they say, right? Roll with the punches. Get some lead in your pencil. I'm making a coffee here. I wanted to hang out with you guys today a little bit. Um, it's probably the last day I'm going to be able to really hang out and stream before we start doing live drives again. It is the 46th day of the 100-day astral challenge. The moon will be going into Virgo later today at some point. It's the 16th day of the first lunar month. It's the day after the Lantern Festival. It's 2 days after the start of spring by the Chinese calendar, and 2 or 3 days after Imbolc. So a lot of things going on right now, man. And then there's some big things coming up too. We've got Valentine's Day right around the corner. We've got Dragon Straight Dragon Head Day. And then we've got Grain Rain all coming up. So you had better get your seeds in the ground before the 19th of February, because that's when the sun's going to be transiting into Pisces. For all my fishy folk out there, if you are Piscean, I know who you are, and I love you, because you know. You might not know, but Frank Monday is a Pisces. I reveal too much. Nobody wants to know your zodiac sign, unless, of course, they do. If they're romantically interested in you, or they're sizing you up for a job offer or something, and then they want to do a little background research on you and figure out what you got going on. Today we're smoking. We got a new tobacco review coming up today, but we're killing off the end of a pack of smoke clouds, cloud smoke. Yun means cloud, yen means smoke or tobacco. So yunyens are smoke clouds, cloud smokes. I call them smoke signals. Get yourself a pack of signals. They'll keep the pep in your step. It's a delightful little tobacco, not too strong, about 10 milligrams of no, only 8 milligrams on these bad boys. 8 milligrams of tar and nicotine, and a delightful kind of woodsy, like you're burning a turd out in the forest. A kind of woodsy smell to it. I enjoy them. They're a little more expensive than my regular smoke, but they stopped smelling. They raised the price on my regular smoke up about I don't know, 75 cents to $1 within a year. Within a year, they did that, and then they just stopped importing them to this part of the city. Don't know why, man, but they're trying to they're trying to follow the U.S. in and Canada and the rest of the world in making smoking inaccessible to everyone but the rich. You know, and then the rich, they just puff away on cigars rolled out by virgin Colombian girls and Cuban girls who are compelled into servitude. Yeah, there we go. That's where you get it done. Here we are. All right. I'm seated. I wonder how this format's going to turn out, because this was the only option it gave me in allowing for a call in. I was hoping that the VPN on the laptop would connect so I could monitor the transmission real time, but it's not working out. And I thought, do I have to have it perfect? Am I only going to stream if I get everything fucking perfect? I cleaned up my little office area here, getting ready for work, and got everything looking spiffy. And I thought, there's nothing I can really do about it. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. I hope y'all good looking sex people are doing well on the 46th day of the 100-day Astral Challenge. Uh, have you encountered anything paranormal in the astral recently? Have you seen me out there floating around? I've been keeping an eye out for you. I've been doing good magic. I took on a client recently. You guys might know. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm not going to tell you who. But I took on a client, and as a result, I had to do a lot of ritual cleansing and purifications around the temple here. When I say temple, I mean my office area and my little altar in front of me. But there have been some transient wandering ghosts that were trying to harass and usurp me in my magic. Hey, Bravadeurs! I was just thinking about you. I was saying that I've been doing a lot of ritual cleansing and purifications here at the temple because take on a new tarot client. I'm going to do some divinations. I haven't done them yet, but I've started the work, and it's a lofty thing for me to engage in such behavior, divination on another's behalf. Anyway, so due to the fact that I've done that, I had to clean up the whole office area here and get the brass tacks out. I'll show you. You can't really see, yeah, it's not gonna mean much to you unless you saw the disarray that it was in previously. But everything's all spiffy, squeaky clean now. I've organized things. I got all my schoolwork out of the way. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the new semester, and this one is open to live call-ins if you want to call in. You got free time to call in. It should be Sunday night for you, right? Like, wow, it should be. Let me check the time for you over there in Happy Land. Um, huh. Is it AM right now? Is it Sunday morning for you, my dear? Is that what time it is? Hello out there in Happy Land. Can you hear me all right? Give me yo if you can hear me. Yeah, so I had to do some ritual purifications and kind of center my psyche. So I got out the four adorations, and I assume in wow, that is so the chat is so far behind, man. Like it just updated like 5 or 6 messages at the same time. Okay, I got the yos, I got the lols, I got the I slept in, got to get ready for work. It's Monday. Oh, it's Monday morning, 7:21 a.m. Monday morning. What time you got to be at work? What time you got to be there? 8 o'clock. You got to hit the road by 8. Be there at 8:15. Yeah. Okay. Transmission's breaking up a bit. All right. Yeah. I leave the house at 8. What is how much of a drive do you got? Less than an hour? About an hour? Would you drive? Do you take the subway? Do you ride a horse? Gangnam Style. Don't, and the Gangnam Style. Boom. 20 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. You fly on your broomstick. Wee. That's what I do, man. I fly around on my broomstick. I it it it, it perplexes me that like some people just don't get it. I was reading a comment, drive you hadn't been hidden down. I can't go like a witch. Yeah. I watched, did you watch the last Dark Journalist transmission? I think you know Dark Journalist, DJ over at Dark Journalist. But he did a show on the Golden Dawn, and so that's right up my alley. I like Golden Dawn material. I've never done too much research into the history of the Golden Dawn, but pretty much everything he said, I knew most of the information, but he left out a lot. And he says he's going to do a part 2, but he really left out a lot, and he only gave like a passing mention to Arthur Edward White and Pamela Coleman Smith in bringing forward the tarot for the new eon, really making it what it is today. I mean, it's kind of a unique phenomena in our current timeline, the prime material plane. But yeah, so I'm doing my homework, Bravadors. You rest assured. Did you watch that one? Yeah, Love Lady Gregory and Years Golden Dawn 2 went to Haddington Hidden Town. I Yeats. Yeah, Yeats. Yeah, he mentioned a lot of those big shots that were involved with it, but he didn't really talk. He talked a lot about McGregor Mathers. Yeah, Lady Gregory and McGregor Mathers and Little, but he didn't really give credit to. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, it he from. I mean, anytime you get into a subject like the Golden Dawn and you're dealing with like people who almost consider themselves to be Golden Dawn scholars like myself, and they're still associated with members of the Golden Dawn and the Grand Imperator right now. And there was no mention to modern day Golden Dawn greats. There was no mention to the timeline of the real development of the material. There was no, I don't even think he name dropped Israel Regardie, Aleister Crowley's secretary, who did far more in bringing forward the teaching of the Golden Dawn material than Crowley himself did, because Crowley just bastardized everything and turned it into Thelema. But I don't know if DJ has that big of a handle on it. It seems like he did a little research on the history and the founding of it. Is that right? Yeah, he was in Loch Lomond. Crowley's unfinished spell where he got called away. The Spell House. Yeah, I read that whole thing about Crowley, like in his various workings, the Babylon working and stuff like that, and him trying to get the ball rolling in that way. But I've never been a big fan of Crowley, honestly, so I've never endeavored to study him that much. He did a lot of good things for the magical tradition, but he brought down a lot of negativity on it too. So, and that's always going to happen with anyone who's like a great performer in the tradition. They'll have an equal amount of fame and slander. There's always going to be the detractors. There'll always be the supporters and the detractors for anyone who makes a great endeavor like that. He did mention Crowley's Toth deck, which is quite a unique deck. I do prefer whites though. I'm a I'm a whiteophile. There was no mention of Eliphas Levi, and there was mention of a couple of obscure, even legendary characters in magical history. Um, I don't know what was the point, honestly. I don't know what the point of his transmission was, but I guess I don't have to know the point. I don't need to know everything. Who am I to dictate to another if they should make a point or not? I certainly don't always make a point. Sometimes I just like to live stream, like right now. Right now, just go for it. Just want to say hi to everyone. Good to see you, though. Know that I am behind the scenes gathering my magic, and I will be dispersing in short time. And we need to schedule a meetup here. That's why I opened it up. If anybody wanted to call in, I've got it open. It says waiting for guests right now. It says I can add someone. Do you want me to add you right now to the live stream? It says add guest, and I click add guest. It says invite, send invite link to guest on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, copy link. Okay, I copied the link. No, I know you don't. I'm being playful. I'm being cagey. Is that what they call it? When you're being facetious, inappropriately playful, being cagey, cheeky. They call it cheeky. The British call it cheeky, right? You're a bit cheeky, aren't you, love? You're proper cheek now, aren't you, love? I don't speak much British English, to be honest with you. Just a handful of phrases. Discord, you can go, okay, you said call with, oh, yeah, yeah, call with Discord. There you go. That's the thing. If I'm using the phone to live, I'd have to set it up beforehand. Because if I'm using the phone to live stream, it's the only solid VPN I've got. And the VPN here on the laptop was open and I was all excited. I was going to be able to watch my own live stream and shit. But then the VPN on the laptop broke, and yeah, I don't have them either. I had WhatsApp, but it locked me out, and it said I needed to verify my identity and prove that I wasn't a robot. Isn't that the irony of the modern technology? It's like you've got a robot, an algorithm, an AI, a gate guard who's entirely robotic, asking you to prove that you're a human. It's like, bro, I set up the account. Why do you want me to prove that I'm a human? You're the robot. It's like, anyway, the irony of it, it just astounds me. It'll be more in the future, though. There will be a Turing test administered by robots to humans that you will constantly be under scrutiny for what you're thinking about and what you say and how you dress and everything. The coming future is going to be a dark, severe, authoritarian future unless we can stem the tide. All right, we got to fight back with our magic. We got to do the great work. The great work is really the preventing of AI from eliminating the human race. And there's no AI. It's other humans using that as their the excuse, right? Oh, the AI did it. Right. Hundreds of millions sent to their death and into camps and liquidated. It was the AI, it wasn't us. We had no hand in the matter. So that's the dystopian reality that we're facing in the near future. We're already really under it. I mean, that was if 2020. Hmm. Yeah, you gotta watch out when you fuck around with the Dark Celestials, right? Like the bad guys who are out there, because they actually have very powerful magicians and stuff that work for them and have advanced technology where they can catch you and pop you out. They really can't injure you, especially if you're doing something, beneficent or whatever, or you're working for a good purpose with pure intent. You can't really be injured, but you can get knocked out. They can eject you, as it were, right? Like forced ejection from the situation. I've been in a few situations like that. I've been hanging around the president when Mr. T was president. I think I visited him like 5 or 6 times. And then one time he flew over Beijing in a private helicopter. It wasn't Air Force One. He was on like a local, huge, big black beast. Maybe it was like a private form of Air Force One. And the likes of which I have never seen before, like almost UFO quality. And it was flying over, doing a tour of the Forbidden City and downtown Beijing. And I was like, it was when Trump was in town, incognito vehicle. And I looked up and I waved. And I'm like, there's Mr. T right there. I'm like, he came to see me finally. And he tipped, he had the pilot tip the like you give him like full window view, like tip the rotors in my direction, basically like a tip of the hat. And I was like, yeah, what's up, baby? But I hung out with him a few times, astrally, of course, before and after he became president. Honestly, I think that I was involved in thwarting like attempted assassinations on his life several times. I was right there in the thick of it. And I was there when he visited the wall, build the wall. It was good fun, very vivid, lucid dreaming, powerful, one-to-one counsel. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I wrote a lot of it down in my journals. I mean, it's not something I should really talk about openly because there might be uh, far left dark magicians out there that would like to see me pay for such behavior. But yeah, I got some inside intel from Mr. T himself, El Presidente. Good fun. Yeah, so we should be studying the star right now, right? A very beautiful card with a really positive meaning. The central figure of the goddess Columbia, Nuit, Astarte, whatever you like, whatever goddess you like. In Chinese, they call her Xuan Mu, or the Dark Mother. Crowley says in the Book of the Law that every man and every woman is a star. I was talking about true men and true women, not today's maligned. Yeah, the star's the focus right now for Aquarius and key 17 of the major arcana. Get in there and look at the stele, a stone or wooden slab erected in ancient Western culture as a monument. The grave steles were often used for funerary or commemorative purposes. So I think that's the stele that the Book of the Law is based on, right? Crowley went to, yeah. Dark Journals was talking about it. That Crowley went to Egypt with his then high priestess at the time, his wife, his girlfriend, or whatever, and they did some opium or something. They did something. I think they were on opium, heroin maybe. And he had the revelation of the Book of the Law. I mean, drug-induced revelations, they're one thing, but I know he was already deep in the magical practice by that point. So there may be a little more to it than just drug-induced hysteria. But really, when you read it, most of it sounds like the drug-addled, um, a combination of megalomania and delusionalism induced by madness. It's all right though. The Lemites will really criticize you if you talk about it that way. Again, I'm more of a Rider White tarot type guy. Rider White Smith. Rider White Coleman Smith. They still call it the Rider White Tarot. They never added Smith to the name, not legally, not by the people who own the publication rights. I guess they can't really own the publication rights though, or the image rights, because it's been in the public domain for so long, right? That's something we have to keep up on though. Like, things that go into the public domain, they don't necessarily stay in the public domain. I've heard about people getting trademarks and copyrights on things that have been in the public domain for hundreds of years already, you know. Maybe their particular interpretation or something. Who who owns US Games parent? Who, I should probably add parent company. Parent. Let's see. 7 companies owned by DIS. Walt Disney. It says that Walt Disney owns it. Wow. No wonder. That's fascinating. See the full list. 6 companies, 6 major companies that are owned by Disney. This is horse shit here. It doesn't show me anything I want to see. No, it says that Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, um, media conglomerate National Amusements, Sony, Rupert Murdoch, Brian L. Roberts. Dude's got a salary of 40 million a year. This guy's got 32 million a year. These are all CEOs. Bob Iger's got 45 million a year. Sumner Redstone, 5 billion a year. Jesus. And he owns television and film, print, video games, and internet. This guy Disney, the head of Disney, Marvel Studios, everything really. Video games and print. Let's see here. So they didn't give me the answer I wanted. They just led me in a wild goose chase to say, hey, it's owned by the same. Everything's owned by. Okay, have a great day. Good checking in. Thanks to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We will catch up later. Yeah. Um, Time Warner. Look at that clock. It's not accurate again, is it? Yeah, no, it is accurate. Sorry. Um, HBO, Mad Magazine, CNN, all of that's owned by Time Warner. Uh, Ventures, Rupert Murdoch. Sony's owned by a Japanese guy, Kazuya Hirai. Comcast is the biggest at 150 billion a year. Disney's right behind it at around 100 million But that didn't tell me what I wanted to know. I wanted to know who owns US Games. I guess one of those guys must own it. Founded in 1968, Stuart R. Kaplan, US Games initially marketed a single product category, tarot cards, and now markets approximately 400 proprietary items from over 20 product categories: tarot cards, playing cards, games, children's card games, museum products, books, and motivational cards. US Games, really, that's it. Doesn't give me any more information than that. Doesn't tell me who the main owner is. So in 1968, they started with the award-winning Pamela Coleman Smith, The Untold Story of the Rider Waite Smith Decks, and the Crowley Tooth Duck. So they started with just those two. US Games has been producing, it's of Stamford, Connecticut. It doesn't say who owns it though. Let's get down into the history of it. Today, US Games is a recognized leader in publishing. Uh, Mensa, they do the Mensa cards, Best Mind Game Awards. Some of the most popular is evidently, but there's no information about who owns the company. In our history, but it's still, it doesn't really tell me much. That's okay. I guess they don't have to share that information with me. It's called US Game Systems Inc. Who owns, maybe I have to type it all out correctly. US Games System. Is it systems or system? Systems with an S, comma, Inc. Period. Stuart Kaplan. It's recognized leader in publishing. Still, it only has 27 employees. Are you serious? And literally controls all tarot publications pretty much worldwide, except for here in China. The Chinese just bootleg whatever the fuck they want. And you could buy all the tarot decks here online in China. That none of them were, guarantee you, none of them were getting any kickbacks to US Games. US Game Systems Inc. It's got a Zoom info page as the primary. DND.com. That's interesting. Oh, DNB. LinkedIn. Business Wire. There's just really very little information. Let me see if clicking this link will help me. No, that's not going to help. Interesting though, they automatically give a connection to um, Llewellyn Worldwide in reference when I did this search. But there's really very little other than this one guy, Stuart Kaplan. I'll check the I'll check the zoomed in linked information. Nope, access denied. Let's see if the DNB will work. Nope, access denied. Can't check any of that from here in China. I guess that's proprietary information. What about LinkedIn? Access denied. Wow. They really don't want Chinese folks looking this kind of info up. Oh well, what can you do, right? It's not a lot you can do about it. I just wanted to check in and say hello to everyone and remind you to do good magic. I opened up the chat, see if anybody wanted to come in and do a little cooperative live streaming, but it doesn't look like it. So I'm going to roll on out the door. I'm going to roll on down the road into the abodes of the future. I hope y'all good looking sexy people are doing well out in Happy Land. It's day 46 of the 100-day astral challenge. You know your home. You know your homework. You should be doing it, right? I feel like Edward Norton of the famous Edward Nortons got bumped off the number one most looked up Edward list. Edward Snowden, right? See this broom? I'm going back inside and I'm going to get a shovel. I love y'all, good looking sex people. Until next time, as above, so below. Adieu.